baby, listen to me speak, yeah. No matter what, just let it go.
Pop, persuadable. What's going on, boo-boos? Yo, my bad. You're gonna hear a little bit of an echo. It's because I'm at a hotel in Idaho. I've missed you all. So I'm gonna play Pyramid Head. I am a tier 1 killer on Dead by Daylight Mobile. However, unlike a lot of Dead by Daylight fans in general, I haven't been playing as much, and I've never actually watched Pyramid Head and tutorials and guides. I like right now I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? I'm like, am I like preparing to use this big fucking sword as a dildo? I didn't know what to expect. I actually haven't looked at any videos about Pyramid Head, and I feel kind of like a coward because the Dead by Daylight devs were nice enough to include me in the 4th anniversary video. Yeah, I'm the last mobile streamer that was included in that. And anyways, so I've been busy, you know what I mean? And I got a real life career, etc. So I didn't know how to use them. So this is me playing the character for the first time, not understanding how the abilities work, just understanding nothing. This is my first match with him, and I felt like it would actually be fun to watch and enjoyable to discuss. I kind of want to show the raw footage of me not knowing what the fuck I'm doing. So these survivors are a little bit better than the randoms that you would come across in tier 20, etc., whatever it's called. So rank 20. I gotta stop using that that tier word. But anyways, yeah, so I started getting better with him, though, throughout the match. And I did carry the Red Mori just because I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be real with you. I fucking hate losing. I don't know how people are so good at being okay with losing. Like, it doesn't matter if I only have one perk. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, all right, you only have one perk. Like, dude, go easy on yourself. In my head, I'm like, yo, fuck that. I'm not going to lose this match. That's just how I get. It's really unattractive. So I carried the Red Mori. And what I will tell you is that with Pyramid Head, man, let me tell you something. I did a lot of fuck-ups in this match and stuff. I ain't even going to pretend like I was perfect. But I wanted to really understand, like, how to use his skill. And really what the difference is on mobile, from what I can gather, is that if you don't play Dead by Daylight Mobile and you're watching me, or if you do play Dead by Daylight Mobile, he's going to be considerably more difficult to kite on mobile, because on the mobile version, we get that red indicator when somebody's injured. So you can actually tell exactly where the survivor is behind a wall once they're injured, because they emit the sound of their grunts or groans. So you can snipe with his fucking ability through walls, and that's what I was kind of practicing. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to practice a little bit with this. And that's where I think he's going to be even more deadly on mobile than what he is on the PC version, because when I do play on the PC version, we obviously know that when you're injured, you don't emit an actual red signal, and that's what you're seeing on here. And so I'm just kind of trying to practice how to snipe with this ability. And I know there's instances where I shouldn't use it and I should just go for a regular hit, but practice makes perfect. And you'll also see me do a little bit of misclicks at sometimes, but I think Pyramid Head is going to be really cool. I think he's going to be a pain in the ass to kite on mobile, especially once you're injured. Once you're injured, I mean, at any point in time, I mean, you're hugging a wall, you're going to have to be able to predict his movements. And when I'm sure he emits a sound when he tries to use his skill. And just for record, I didn't want to be here. I'm not trying to camp this guy. I kind of was trying to find a survivor away from the hook, and then he kind of led me back to him. And then now I'm in this unfortunate spot. And you can see... You can see this moment right here where I'm like, all right, I'm going to leave him alone. And then I'm like, fuck that, dude. So if I'm too nice to these guys, they're probably going to just teabag the shit out of me at the exit gate. So you see this right here. This is the part where I'm like, nah, fuck that. I ain't showing no mercy. This is literally my thought process. I'm like, I ain't got time to show these bitches mercy. And this is what the Mori looks like. I know a lot of you have probably seen it. Again, I've been really busy, so I haven't had the opportunity of seeing a lot of this stuff. And so that is something that I did want to discuss, though. How is Pyramid Head going to be different on mobile? And I think that's one of the big things, is that now that you have those red indicators, I think it's going to be easier for him to try to snipe. However, I think it's also going to depend on which survivors you're going against, right? We know this in Identity 5 and Dead by Daylight and Dead by Daylight Mobile, that how survivors kite in high tiers or loop in high tiers is very different from how they do it in low tiers, or vice versa. So that's going to be interesting, because if you try to snipe through a wall using his ability, it may be a lot easier to do it against, the ranked 20s and 15s, because they may move in a very patterned behavior that you can predict. But a lot of the better survivors, they're going to be used to that tactic eventually. And so if you try to snipe them through the wall, they may try to juke back. But then a high tier, or a good rather, Pyramid Head may pretend to do it and have you juke backwards to avoid it, and then come around and creep them. I mean, this is something that we see in Identity 5, using the clown. This is something we see in Dead by Daylight Mobile, when you're using Huntress and trying to predict movements with the hatchet. So it'll be a really fascinating thing to see what Pyramid Head users are able to pull off. But judging from my basic use of him and using his skill, I think he's going to be very deadly, and I think he's going to be substantially scarier, just like Spirit is on mobile. It's a lot easier to use Spirit on mobile once you're able to secure that first hit. Again, because of those red visual pings. So I had a lot of fun using him. Again, this is my first match. I mean, this is genuinely my first. And I'm still, so I actually, with this guy, I missed my attack button. So if you were just watching right there and you're like, what the fuck are you doing? I missed my attack button like twice. That's why I spun in like a little circle. And that's something that can get really annoying about Dead by Daylight Mobile, in a way where you have to be really accurate with where your fingers are hitting, because if you miss that attack button by a little bit, you start doing those little twirls. And so right here, so that's why this guy should have been down. But now I'm like, all right, you know what? I'm going to practice using this ability and practice trying to predict his movements in order to get better at what I'm doing. And that was just a normal strategy that you do. You pretend you're going to follow him, you juke back. That's a strategy that you can use with all of the killers. And I did that because I was getting frustrated. I was getting frustrated trying to predict those sort of movements. So it'll be interesting to find out what you all are thinking about with Pyramid Head as well, especially for those who are playing on Dead by Daylight Mobile. What are your thoughts about him? Do you like him? I'm really looking for the mobile community here on this one. I don't feel like we have a lot of representation in the mobile market. Don't get me started with that. You'll go to a bunch of, oh yeah, I played Dead by Daylight, but I play it on the mobile version. Oh, that doesn't count. We're console and PC players. And I'm like, man, get the fuck out of here. I just want to talk to people who like the same game as me. Can you imagine your entire identity in life is like this superiority complex with what fucking avenue you use to play a video game? It's so pathetic. I hope I never am like that. I hope I'm never like, oh, you play, on that platform. Oh, that's not as skillful. And it's like, man, where's that pride? Can you imagine giving birth to a baby, right? Or your wife or whatever, and you look at this like cute little innocent baby. So innocent, so cute, probably ugly looking. And in all fairness, those things are fucking ugly when they come out. But anyways, whatever. We'll get away from that. We'll say it's a cute baby. And you look and you're just like, I hope this little precious baby is a complete asshole to people when they get older and they start discriminating you based on which fucking platform you decide to play video games on. It's such a weird thing. See, I'm going to fuck this whole video up. See, why can't I do one video without ranting about some shit? And that's what's about to happen. I'm about to rant. Fuck it. I do these videos in one take and I'm just going to go off, all right? Why do people do that? I don't understand the Dead by Daylight community. Like, oh, we only, PC's the only way to play, console's the only way to play, or whatever. Who gives a fuck? It's a game. Like, The way that my head works, let me explain this. The way that my head works, right? If I'm out there and, I'm talking to somebody and I'm like, oh, yeah, I got a YouTube and stuff. Oh, yeah, what games do you cover? And I'll be like, oh, I play Identity 5 and Dead by Daylight. If somebody says, I play Dead by Daylight or we'll stick with Dead by Daylight. And they're like, oh, yeah, I play Dead by Daylight. Dude, I'm wicked fucking stoked. I'm like, oh, that's so awesome. Which characters do you like? Or how long have you been playing? Or what's the best rank that you got? Or do you like killers? So, like, that's how my brain works. Can you imagine being such an asshole that the first thing you say is, well, what platform do you use? Do you use the PC, the console, the mobile? Oh, you're a mobile player. Gregory, did you hear that? Did you hear that? This guy's a mobile player. What a prick. Yeah, sorry. We can't really associate with you, you mobile player. Who the fuck would do that? It's just, I just don't get it. I think it's absolutely dumb. Maybe it's because I'm older. I'm 30 years old, and I come from a generation. I know I'm going to use that right now. I'm doing that. I'm hitting that age where I can start. Back in my day, we used to walk 2 miles for a glass of milk, right? So I'm about to start using that logic now, all right? Anyways, back in my day, right, people would kind of low-key make fun of you if you played a lot of video games and shit, especially Magic the Gathering. If you were in high school and you still played Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh, I mean, people would kick your ass. It was stupid. So, anyways, all of the kids who used to play a lot of video games in high school, and we would be on our Xboxes all night playing Call of Duty and Battlefield, and we would get made fun of. We were considered the fucking nerds, And so it's just it's the same thing with anime. If you went around telling girls that you watched anime as a guy, most of them wouldn't even want to look at you. So I come from this moment in time where we're now, I don't care what anime you watch. When you have people oh, you watch that anime, you're not a real anime fan. Fuck that. I don't care what platform you play on. I don't care what anime you watch. I will fuck with you. I mean that. I will be friends with you. I'll be excited to talk about this shit. I fucked this whole video up, man. I'm turning into a Gordon Ramsay of video games. Bye.